Good people, off the top, let me say that I will not be watching this movie for two reasons. The first being that this movie isn't made for my demographic, and the second being I don't yet have a daughter, and even if I did, we would not be watching this movie because, well, it's just going to...
You absolutely suck!
Everyone watching this video knows that everything owned and produced by Disney is, for the most part, garbage, and this movie will be no different. I know that Disney has tried to rework this Snow White movie by changing the visuals from a band of diversity hires to CGI dwarves because I guess there's just no people that can fit that role. Don't believe me? Just ask Peter Dinklage. And sending Rachel Zegler into PR training to then have her do a sit down with Halle Bailey to try to save face just isn't going to cut it. We know who she is and what she stands for, so it's going to be real hard to try to get that toothpaste back into that tube. Speaking of that, does anyone find it kind of weird that no one really gave Gal Gadot some of that same smoke they gave Rachel Zegler, considering she was right there co-signing that same messaging? I know some people like the way Gal looks, but we can't just sit here and simp out for her and not hold her accountable too. Getting back on track though, the biggest reason this movie is going to, well, not be good in my opinion, is the same reason almost every single Disney project has sucked, and that's because we already know what messaging is likely incoming in said film or movie. For anyone that's going to queue up in the comments saying that, well, Johnny, Disney has always had messaging in their movies and TV shows, and prior to what we have seen, let's just say after 2013, no one had a problem with it. And to that, I would say, well, you are correct there. I would have to agree. But having said that, the issue is that Disney used to focus on telling a good story that happened to have a message in it, to now Disney is focused on the message, trying to make a good story out of it. It sounds the same, but the formula is vastly different. Over with Marvel Studios, it seems that they got the memo on this and is about to try and pivot back to what made Marvel successful in the past, but I highly doubt the rest of the company will. Their CEO, Bob Liar Pants on Fire Iger, is a firm believer in the message and the latter of those two statements, and since he has lied about switching it back in the past, I have zero faith it's going to happen with this project, or really any project that Disney puts out in the future. Maybe it will surprise me, and I will be wrong, and I will be the first to admit it. But if I had to ask, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is still the wokest company of them all, I'm pretty sure I know what the answer would be. So to that, we'll go another Disney project that will get laid to rest by the name of Snow White, with no Prince Charming to save it, and the only studio to blame would be itself.